Hey guys, it's Jennifer Don Gabiola, and I wanted to share the next video in this series all about helping you master your mind and your money the turtle way. So I hope you've been enjoying the first two. It's all like leading up to even though I'm receiving all this divine guidance, it feels like it's building up. Each video is building up to the next one, and it's really indicative of like my own personal process, how I've moved through a lot of these things in order to show up in a bigger way in my life, but especially in my business. So the topic for today's video is your fragility is your strength. So this is also another vulnerable topic, but it's one that it's been on my heart for a long time, and especially in the past few weeks, it was a topic that really resonated with my Quiet Voice Big Impact Mastermind. So I felt like it felt like a topic that needed to be shared more, because I feel like what I've learned on my entrepreneurial journey is that your relationship to yourself determines your relationship to life, you know, and ultimately your business. So however you engage with yourself, that's actually how life engages with you. So this topic about how your fragility is a strength, it's actually not talked about a lot on your entrepreneurial journey, especially as an introvert. And I feel like it's a really important topic to talk about. So first I wanted to just talk about what do I mean by your fragility is your strength. So your fragility, to me, it means like you're the most vulnerable part of you. The part of you that is really the part of you that our ego wants to hide, because we desperately don't want to be hurt. So we tend to, as humans, project an image of how we think we need to be in order to be accepted and validated. But what I've realized is that core part of you, that vulnerability, that fragile part of you, is actually the core of your true strength, because that's the source of how you unlock your true voice and your power, and you're really present to how you really feel in the moment, and allowing yourself to express that and to be witnessed, especially with other people, because that allows for a deeper connection with other people. So, because at the end of the day, really, all of us as humans, we are craving human connection, not just human surface connection, but deep, genuine connection. And so that's why I feel like this topic needs to be talked about more, is because our world tends to move really fast. And I feel like people are desperately craving not just connection on a service level, like we can connect with people all over the world with the technology that's available to us, but to connect on a deep human level of like vulnerability and honesty. And that starts with us, being honest with ourselves, so we can be really honest with others, because that creates that deep resonance and deep connection that we as human beings crave. So I feel like this topic really needs to be talked about, even though it's really, it's a sensitive topic, but it needs to be talked about. Hi, Carissa. Thanks for joining me again. So, okay, I wanted to share a little bit backstory about my relationship to this topic of being fragile and honoring your vulnerability. So I remember many years ago in my previous career, I used to be a design director. I had a friend say to me that I was fragile. And I remember, I know that the intention was good. It was more like an objective observation. But I remember walking away from that conversation feeling like it bothered me, because I was like, fragile, because I took that as like, oh, is this person saying that I'm weak? and that I'm easily broken. So it really, at the time, it didn't sit well with me. But what I realized on my entrepreneurial journey is that that vulnerable side in me that maybe this person was picking up on, that sensitive side in me, is actually my greatest strength. And it was only through being an entrepreneur that I realized that, because on my journey, like I was really good at doing, like getting ish done. Like I set a goal and I just made it happen. Like that was really my way of operating. But what I realized, I always came to a point in my business as an entrepreneur where I would get stuck. Even though I could analyze and strategize and figure things out, there was always a part of me that I couldn't like get past a certain level of success, and also like this level of fulfillment in myself. There was like an emptiness. And so what I realized is that the game changer on my entrepreneurial journey was stopping this dialogue with myself of bullying myself and pushing myself and hustling. And because what I realized, as I shared in my other video, that I think the other videos were called From Victim to Victor, and also The Bully and the Defeatist, is that I was constantly trying to prove myself through my work. And so again, the game changer for me was for me to stop and really be. I was really good at doing, but the being part, being with me, was hard. But I realized, because I never felt good enough. I was like, what drove me was like I had an emptiness I was always trying to fill. And I was always trying to fill it with things that are outside of me. So only until I actually faced my vulnerability, my fragility, the things that I felt like could break me, it was like, oh, bringing that to light and actually treating myself, like looking at that pain with love and tenderness, that was the game changer. Absolutely. Because once I started practicing that and being kind and gentle with myself, when I wanted to resist the pain or whatever was blocking me, that relationship to myself, being kind and loving and patient, was a game changer, shifted everything for me, because then I could move through what was blocking me and then reach the other side with a sense of ease and grace, right? So a lot of people when you're an entrepreneur, they focus on the strategy, right? You could do this, the techniques, which is great. But what I found is, if you're not going deep, especially if you're an introvert, because we tend to go very deep, we have a very rich inner world. So if you're not really facing the things along your way that's blocking you, and you do it in your own pace and timing, and you give yourself the space and grace to face it, and again, be loving and kind with yourself, you will continue to be blocked. You will continue to be stagnant at a certain level. I've tried it. So it was only until I finally started to shift my dialogue with myself and recognize what made me sensitive, what made me vulnerable, what made me seemingly fragile was actually my strength, because I could then hold sacred space for myself. I could hold space for me and really look at it, bring things that needed to be healed, bringing that to light, asking God to help me do that, because I didn't know how to do it, because I was trying to, work through life only through my mind. But I realized is that life is so much bigger than our logical mind. When I say game changer, when I decided to just stop assuming I knew the best solution and allowed myself to receive divine guidance, allow myself to be supported, believe that I'm worthy of support, and then co-create with life every present moment, that is what I'm talking about for this like game-changing shift in my life, and especially in my business. Because I was able to hold space for myself and be honest in a loving, kind way, then I'm able to do that same thing with other people. My clients, they can feel like, they can sense that I've done the work and I'm doing the work. That's why I can hold space for them, right? So they feel safe to be seen and acknowledged and heard. and be supported by me, because they can feel my energy of, hey, I know what it's like to be where you are, not feeling safe with your own feelings, not feeling safe to be seen. I understand what all that's like. And so my role is to help walk, hand in hand with you through this journey, because it's very, if you really want to make a lasting impact, this is what it's going to take. Because again, people are craving deep connection, not just surface. You want to know how you can stand out? Is this. You have to create deep resonance within yourself before you can really resonate with other people. That's this energy is, again, this is something I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about in business, is because it seems very, it's not like typical like strategic, but I feel like this energetic component, your relationship to yourself, is the gold. It's the gold, because this is how you stand out. This is how you see yourself. This is how you relate to yourself. So therefore, how you relate to yourself is going to impact how you relate to life, how people relate to you in your life and your business, right? Yeah, so what I really encourage you to do is, I'm going to share some tips at the end, but just really allowing yourself to be open to seeing your vulnerable side, this fragility, this sensitive side, this part of you that's really wanting more love. It's like meeting that with more tenderness, meeting your pain and resistance with tenderness and gentleness and love and compassion. Really, really, this is what it's going to take. And it takes time. So, and again, I feel like the more you cultivate this in yourself, this is going to really help you to cultivate a sense of power that is well beyond the ego. It's really, you're able to sustain yourself because you have a deep foundation within your soul and your spirit to be able to be present and hold space for yourself so that you can do the same for others, like your tribe and your clients. The last thing I wanted to share about this is that when I recognized, I had that pattern of bullying myself and stuff, I got to a point where it was like so hard, the struggle was so hard that I had to like let it go and recognize like I deserve more, and I deserve to be on my own side. Just fighting myself all the time, at the time that I needed that to, I don't know, keep up this story of I needed to keep proving my worth, right? But once I really got to a point where I couldn't handle any more struggle or suffering, that's when I realized like, okay, I deserve to be on my own side and allow myself to be supported, like move with the flow of life instead of swimming against the current. That's what I was used to doing. So it's giving yourself permission to actually allow yourself to be carried by life, by grace, by God, the universe, whatever you believe in, to allow yourself to be carried. That's really one of the greatest really gifts you can give to yourself, is just to allow yourself to be supported by you and all of life. So what I want to share with you next is like, why is all this important? Is because, like I mentioned, to create like sustainable success in your life, but especially your business, you need this inner fortitude, this foundation, in order to stand out to the right people and able to serve them, to actually transform their lives. So it doesn't really matter what industry you work in, but people tend to hire people for who they are and their energy, right? It's their vibe. There can be so many like life coaches out there, health coaches, whatever it is you do. But why people invest is because it's you and your energy. And that's why it's so important for you to honor, the deeper you can go with yourself and honor this vulnerable side and really being honest about how you feel and supporting yourself like every moment of your entrepreneurial journey. People can feel that strength and fortitude within you, and then you can then they can trust that you'll be able to hold that space and offer that support for them as well. It's like instinctive because you're embodying it, because you tend to attract what you embody. So again, people instinctively trust what you embody within yourself, right? Because you've seen that when people like try to sell you and they just say like this, but it doesn't like line up with their vibe and their energy. So again, the more that you can tap in and tune into yourself, and have that deep resonance, you won't have to try to convince people. They can feel the intention and purity of your presence, right? You'll resonate on a deep energetic level that people will feel you. And energy, I found in my journey, goes way further than words. Words are powerful, but energy goes further, because energy, I always say this, energy doesn't lie. So that's really how I've been able to grow my business and attract the right people, is because there has to be energetic resonance with the right people, and people can feel that. So the last thing I want to say about this part was, in order to attract like the right tribe and clients, you have to demonstrate that trust within yourself, so you can energetically attract whatever it is you want. So for example, you want to attract more confidence, success, wealth, love, support. You actually have to demonstrate that value, be it. That's why I'm talking about, like, it's not just the doing, you actually have to be it. Because the more you embody that, people can feel the truth in your presence and feel that, okay, this lady is for real. She can help me. It's not just words. I can feel the truth and power in what she's saying. I can trust in her energy that she is helping me to feel safe to take this next level, take this next step in my journey as an entrepreneur, right? So you have to like really embody that for yourself. That's why it always starts with yourself, how you relate to yourself first. That way, when you do engage with the world, people can feel like, oh, they can feel like that deep alignment, and then you'll be able to, both ways, there'll be a clear discernment to see if it's a good fit, right? Okay, so what I wanted to share was a few tips to help you honor your vulnerability so you can really be an impactful leader, right? And really stand out and, again, create that sustainable success that you want in your business. So the first tip I wanted to share was to remember that, and this is really deep, and I really hope that you really receive this. Remember that you are loved beyond your own understanding by God, life, and the whole universe. And you were created on this earth to be your own rare form of love in action. Okay? It's taken me many years for me to believe this truth, but it is very true. When you can allow yourself to stop thinking and believe in that life is actually for you, and nothing that happens to you is happening, everything is happening for you, it's not happening to you. There's a deep level of relief that you feel in your spirit if you can allow it, to trust that even though maybe in your past you haven't experienced that deep level of support or love, the fact that you have a choice, you can give it to yourself and you can allow yourself to receive it from a force greater than yourself. I'm telling you, I pray that you allow yourself to really receive and believe that, because whether you believe in God, the universe, life in general, there is a force greater than you. And we are all here to demonstrate love in action. So believing that, and actually believing that in your mind and your heart, and then taking action based on that, that is how you create momentum. That is how you create impact, because people can feel that you're being carried, that you're communicating at a higher level. It's bigger than you, right? So that's the first tip, is just to remind you that you're loved beyond your own understanding, and you are really love. You're designed to be love in action, and how you're being called to serve. That's how you're being called to help other people change their lives based on whatever your passion is. Okay, the next tip is to be honest about how you really feel. Don't run away from your feelings. Be very present. You know, be really honest about how you feel. Just sit with it. Because again, the more that this becomes natural for you, you can move through the ups and downs of your life and your business with more ease and grace. Also, ask yourself what you truly need each day. Really, don't get like caught up in all the things you have to do on your to-do list. Be very clear, like, okay, be present all the time. What is it that I need today? Do I need a nap? Do I need to take a walk? Do I need to just breathe? You have to like have a deep level of presence within yourself to be able to navigate life in a way where you're directing your energy. You're not allowing life to carry you or push you around or like react. Your goal is to respond to life, not just react to life, because that's how, again, we get in that old habit of feeling like a victim of life. But what I am talking about is to feel like victorious over your life, right? And this takes practice. So ask yourself what you truly need each day, and give yourself that. Also, be tender, kind, and patient with yourself, so you can bring everything that needs to be healed, so you can bring it to light. You know, what really resonates with me is like to meet your pain with tenderness, to meet your whatever resistance, block, to meet yourself with a sense of love, gentleness, and tenderness. Like that. Like, even if that feels really foreign or unfamiliar to you, just give yourself the opportunity to try and practice, because I'm telling you, my personal experience, when I first started, I wanted that because I was so tired of struggling and feeling like so hard on myself, that practicing that was difficult because it felt so strange. I was so used to like things feeling hard, things feeling like a burden, me fighting myself, like that felt normal to me. So to shift to a different way of interacting with myself, it took time. So that's why this whole turtle way I talk about, give yourself the space and the grace to practice, but be clear that I want this. Like, claim it. I want this so I can change my life, because this is fundamental to how you can really change your life and your business. And then all along your entrepreneurial journey, it's definitely celebrate your wins, big and small, and everything counts. Every step counts. Every step is a step forward in your progress. So it doesn't have to be this mega huge win, like windfall. Just like the fact that you have the desire to change, celebrate that. Really celebrate everything, because again, the goal is for you to really be on your own side and really allow yourself to support yourself in a sustainable way, so you don't abandon yourself, right? Because that's easy to do. It's just like we compare ourselves to other people. We just feel like we're not good enough. So we abandon ourselves and we stay in our mind and stay in this endless cycle of suffering. And that's not, you have the power to change that, and I'm a testimony of that. Okay. So I really hope that this topic hits home for you. I know it does for me, and it really resonated with my mastermind ladies. Again, I feel like it's a topic that not a lot of people talk about on this entrepreneurial journey that we're on. And I feel like, especially as an introvert, it's necessary. This deep work is necessary. You can't skip over this. I tried to skip over this part because it felt too hard to deal with. But this is the way, going through it, but doing it with a sense of ease and grace, and allowing yourself to be supported by people that have gone through it definitely helps make your journey easier. So if this resonates with you and you'd like to connect on a complimentary discovery call, just to see how, maybe I could help you really help this to be your new normal, so you can approach the new year in a way that feels more in alignment with you and more joyous and fulfilling and easy, so you can really make an impact in your business, help you map out a strategy, but again, from this deep soulful place. Just email me at info@darlingsoul.com or send me a private message. And as a reminder, my Quiet Voice Big Impact 2019 Mastermind is now open, and I have limited spots available because basically the premise of this support is we take business in a really, it's soulmate strategy, right? But we take our time the turtle way. I'm all about sustainability. And so what I'm doing through this mastermind is to really help you navigate from a deep level, just like we're talking about in this video and in the series, from a deep level. That way you have a solid foundation in order to create your sustainable business. And then as you evolve, your business will evolve. Like everything will feel very whole. That's my intention and prayer, is that you feel whole within yourself. Therefore, you can approach your life and your business in a way that feels whole and fulfilling to you. And then therefore you can expand your capacity to receive, make more money, reach more clients. Like we all want the results, okay? Don't get me wrong, we all want that. What I've realized is that we actually have to create that space to be able to hold it and not, hold on to these old limiting beliefs where we are not able to hold it or maintain it or grow it. We need that support. So that's why every year I have this mastermind. So if you feel pulled, let me know and we can set up a free call, a discovery call, just to see if it's a good fit. So would love to know your biggest takeaways from this. Like I said, this topic it's very dear to my heart, and I feel like more people need to be talking about this, because honoring this deep, cultivating a deep, loving relationship with yourself and seeing what other people consider as weakness, your vulnerability or your fragility, that's actually your greatest strength. And the more that you can give yourself permission to see it that way, you will transform. How you show up will be filled with a deep confidence. You release any sort of shame and pain, and you'll recognize like all of the vulnerabilities make you whole, right? And people can feel that. People can feel that deep sense of groundedness in you, that when you speak and when you share, people can feel that life is actually working through you like a channel. And I've seen that the people that I tend to gravitate to, or people I look up to in business, or even like celebrities, the people that I gravitate to, I can feel that they are allowing God, life, the whole universe to move through them, whether it be through a performance, through a talk, through written word, through a video. Like you can feel when someone has like allowed themselves to open the channel and speak and to express themselves without limit. And that's when you become most powerful, most resonant, most magnetic, right? When you allow yourself to shine from that place. So that's the whole reason why I wanted to share this series, especially this topic. So, Nicole joined us. Hi, Nicole. So let me know what your biggest takeaways are from this video. I'll be sharing a couple more videos this week. This is the third one, so I'm going to share the fourth and then the final one this week. So I hope it's helpful for you. My intention, again, is to help you master your mind and your money like the turtle way. That way you create sustainable success. Okay, guys, reach out. Email me at info@dawningsoul.com if you'd like to connect, or send me a private message. But I genuinely, truly hope that this video series is serving you. It's definitely divinely inspired. Okay, so I will chat with you in our Quiet Voice Big Impact community. Bye, guys.